Oman is located on the southeastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula. The countries that border Oman are Saudi Arabia to the west, Yemen to the southwest, and United Arab Emirates on the northwest. Today, Oman is separated into two parts, the central area known as Oman and the coastal region led by the capital Muscat. These two regions are separated by the Hajar Mountains, which is located by the green spots on the map. Government and economy. Oman was formerly known as Oman at Muscat. During this time, the central region was ruled by an imam, and the coastal region was ruled by a sultan. Now Oman is ruled by only the sultan because the last imam, Ghalib bin Ali al-Hinai, was exiled and then died in 2009. There has not been another election for another imam since. Now Oman is considered a unitary Islamic absolute monarchy.
Oman considers themselves to have a free economy. Their three main ways of making money are oil and gas, mineral resources such as copper, iron, and gold, and also industry.
Early history.
During the 7th century, Oman became an Islamic nation. They are also currently the only Arab nation with the majority of Ibadi people, which is a form of Islam. The other country in the Arab world are typically Sunni, which is the largest form of Islam, or Shia, which is the second. Ancestors are believed to have arrived in two waves of migration, the first wave of migration from Yemen and the second from northern Arabia.
Racial cultural makeup. Oman's people are thought to be descendants of tribes of northern and southern Arabia. These tribes are called the Hinawis, the Ghafinis, and the Zanabaris. The majority of the people in Oman are the Ibadi Muslims, which consists of 75% of the people. The other 25% consist of Sunni Muslims, Shia Muslims, Hindus, and Christians. Quality of life in Oman. Because Oman is a monarchy and it has a sultan that has absolute power over the country, Omani citizens are given limited rights. They are not given basic rights such as freedom of speech and peaceful assembly.
The quality of life in Oman is said to be less than that of an American, that being because they make less money than we do, but their pricing of all their items are the same. For example, a liter of milk in Oman is $1.74, but also a pair of Nike shoes in Oman is $83.98.
20th century conflicts. Iraq was very interested in the oil within Oman. The Sultan of Muscat, Saeed bin Taimur, was in charge of foreign trade and was willing to trade with Iraq, but the Imam of Oman, Ghalib bin Ali, objected this because the oil was in his territory. He acted out in a revolt called the Jebel Akhtar Revolt. The Sultan sent military forces into central Oman to stop this revolt. The Imam led the Imamate of Oman against the Saeed bin Taimur's forces. He was able to push the Sultan's forces back, but then with help from the Cameroonian infantry, the British armored vehicles, and the Royal Air Force, the revolt was ended. The war lasted about 5 years until the Sultan stopped the Jebel Akhtar revolt of the Imamate in 1959. Effects of the Arab Spring in Oman. The Arab Spring was the start of many protests and uprisings that began December 2010. During this time, protesters originally targeted the government to increase the minimum wages of those working in private sectors and to lower the cost of living. The government eventually raised the minimum wage of around 150,000 private sector employees. They also fought for an increase of jobs, freedom of speech, and less government and media control. Relations with the United States. Oman and the U.S. have never really had any conflicts with each other. In 1974, the first resident U.S. ambassador of Oman took up post. In the 1980s, Oman agreed to allow United States military forces to access Omani military facilities, if agreed upon. In 2005, Oman and the U.S. made a free trade agreement which was successfully set into place in October of 2005.